Welcome to this special Insta Live session by Lodestar. This is a series of Insta Lives that we're doing to introduce unique careers and people who are guiding students on unique paths. That's the whole purpose of this. Aptly, the session is titled Career Compass, and we hope that we're able to guide students and be the compass, students and parents, and be the compass for them. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a Sunday morning, and really appreciate that all of you spared the time to join us. And so we'll get started. Warm welcome to you, Sristy. How are you today?
I'm doing good, sir. Thank you so much. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, Srishti. So it's always a pleasure to talk to you here. I've known you for some time, and your passion for your work and your passion for whatever you're doing currently with Co-Learn is really, really amazing. People, we have Srishti Jain. She's a unique personality. She's a CA. She was an investment banker, and she's an entrepreneur and, in a way, a sports career expert. So she knows a lot about the world of sports, which is the world that we're going to dive into today and explore. So Srishti, would you like to just introduce yourself a bit, maybe take a minute or two and tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and what you do at Colearn?
Sure. So, hi everyone. So glad to be meeting all of you. My name is Sristy. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Colearn Sports. Colearn is a sports education platform where we help people make careers, make sustainable careers in sports. We say that we don't make anybody Virat Kohli, but we make everybody who's around Virat. So we make people sports analysts, sports commentators, sports journalists, sports scientists, sports social media managers, sports event managers, cricket umpires, cricket coaches, athlete managers, so on and so forth. We train them, we place them. So that's what we do. My little bit of earlier background, I used to be an investment banker. I have worked in India and Dubai for 11 years as a front-end investment banker. I was part of the deals which are like Imami Bod Zandu or Janak Healthcare or even the Maini Precision, which is the Reva car. So a lot of deals I've been part of, and yeah, I did my MBA twice. One from Alliance Business School, Bangalore. Now it is Alliance University, and second from a post-graduation program from UCLA Anderson. And that's when I decided to come back. I'm a CFA charter holder, CAIA charter holder, but right now I'm a sports entrepreneur, so I don't use my finance skills that much.
Awesome, yeah. Srishti, I just got completely blown away by that. I know you obviously, but like the kind of things you've done in your life and the when you were reeling out the list of sports careers, I was like awestruck for a minute. Okay, and yeah, so guys, that's the exciting world we'll get into. All of us have recently seen the women cricketers lift the World Cup. The men are having an extremely challenging series right now. And other world of sports, we saw women boxers do very well today, very, very recently. So sports is a very, very popular thing, right? And the popularity of sports has really expanded quite a bit today. But a lot of people still think of playing in sports, right? Shishi, tell us a little bit about sports as a career. Is it a viable career at all? Let's just get on head on tackle that topic because when we talk to a lot of students in this age group, which is 10th, 9th to 12th grade, and many of them are passionate players, they've been players before, maybe 7th, 8th grade, and but somewhere when we talk to them that there are possible careers in sports, they can only think of a player. So can you maybe just take one or two examples? You'll read out a list of careers. Can you take one or two examples and just say, is it a viable career today?
So, Mulli, right now, this is one of the best time to be in sports,
Sure.
right? Sir, like, isn't, right now, the amount of sports which is growing in India, in sports is growing at 14%. India itself is growing at 7.5%, right? And a sector which is growing double the economy size is always considered to be a sunrise sector. Not
Hmm.
just this, also like the impetus of government, the
mm,
amount of private leagues which has come up, public-private partnership which is happening, and
mm,
moreover, Mr. Prime Minister's dream to make,
mm,
by 2036, they want five medal India to be in the Olympics as first one, as top five countries, and
wow.
sorry, as top 10 countries, and by 2047 they want it to be top 5 countries. And
Wow.
just to let you know, right now our medal tally, highest medal tally in single Olympic has been 7. So to achieve that
Mm,
kind of numbers, which is like hundreds of medals, we need the whole sports ecosystem, players, the support staff, the allied staff, everybody to be very, very vibrant and Olympic kind. So this is
mm,
the best time to be in sports. Is sports a viable career option? So far, if we talk about sports, people say athlete, becoming an athlete is the only, and also playing at the highest level is the only viable career option. But
mm,
this particular narrative is changing now, because
mm,
you can also make a very viable, sustainable and passion-based career as athlete maker as well.
mm,
And
mm,
the kind of salaries that you draw and the kind of loyalty and the passion that you have, it's
mm,
it's it's 10 times more than any other industry right now.
mm,
Because
mm.
you can survive in sports as a player or as an athlete maker only if you are passionate about it.
Hmm. No, very interesting point to raise that actually we many people view sports with a narrow lens of playing only, but as they say, it takes a village to bring up a child. Similarly, I think it needs an entire village of people to build a champion, right? So if we have to get to the top 10 in Olympic medals, then that means maybe is what about 100 medals, 50 medals, or whatever number. For that, maybe 50,000 or 5 lakh people have to be working. And this is the kind of professional setup that is required. And you talked about also the money part involved. In fact, I'm just drawn to this point about IPL, right? IPL, there are maybe 10 teams, maybe 20 people play in each team, 200. But actually, IPL is a 50,000 crore plus business, right? So who are the people then working to set up IPL? So that is what we're talking. Fantastic. Can you just take one example of one sports, allied sports career to illustrate this point that how relevant and real and valid it is? Maybe just take one career to say, is there a real job? What is the real job? And illustrate it with one example, maybe, right?
So right now, one of the fastest growing field in sports jobs is sports analytics.
Okay.
Okay, and sports analytics, I just want to tell you what exactly it means is nothing but, an analyst job is to find the winning strategy for a
Okay.
team. The
Sure.
final decision will be from the coach and the captain, but it is the decision enabler is the analyst. And how
Correct.
does this happen? Based on the past data and the domain knowledge, and a lot of other factors that the analyst looks at it and then comes up with a whether it is playing 11 strategy, whether
Sure.
how many spinners we should have, how how many batsmen we should have in a team, or who goes first. That all strategy, the decision enabler is actually an analyst, and it's a very interesting job. You travel with the team, you talk to the athletes on a daily basis, you talk to coaches, you talk to the captains and everybody. So this particular sector of sport is growing at around 24%
Wow.
year on. Initially, in the initial days, Moneyball was, if everybody has watched that picture, and if you haven't, then I would always recommend before you start your
Mm,
journey, please watch that.
mm,
It started from baseball in the US, and then it trickled down to India as well. And initial days, only teams like Mumbai Indians had analysts. Today,
mm.
we are talking about 4 to 5 analysts each team is having, and some of the players have their personal analyst. This is the
Wow.
kind of growth which is coming in. And the salaries can go as low as 3.5 lakh, but as high as 22 lakhs, 25 lakhs as well, depending on how
Wow.
good you are. And there is nothing about, your experience or anything. Yes, obviously experienced people get much more, but starting salaries also can range, if you're good at your skill, between
Wow.
that.
So
So
this is so what I'm understanding, this is like a full-time job. So who will recruit a sports analyst? It's a team or the individual who recruit. It's like a see because that's the unsteadiness of people feel that, right? that boss, it's like a freelancing job that one day you have work, tomorrow you don't have work. Is it like that with some of these careers?
It depends on what you prefer. There are
Hmm.
companies like Sports Mechanics, which is India's largest sports analytics company. They have work year around. They will do IPL, then they will do all the domestic series, then they will get into PKL, then they will do ISL, and a lot of other matches as well. They also consult a lot of other cricket teams as well. So that is, and there are a lot of these kind of companies. Kadamba Technologies is second largest company in India. uh, Sports Mechanics is already there. Sports KPI is there. Then we do have companies such as Prodian Tech, and a lot of those kind of companies which are doing the back end work. They also travel with the teams and all. They're appointed. I mean, they will have presence in every IPL company in some or other format. So that's
Wow.
one way, and that is a full-time job. You can also get into the IPL teams like Rajasthan Royal, LSG, and all of that hires full-time. There are teams which don't hire an analyst full-time as well, but you still have 6 months of contract
Wow. Wow.
with them. So,
So you
and
mentioned
then,
yeah, sorry.
then one of the biggest sector is actually the ESPNs and the sports media houses of the world. They hire,
Hmm.
because these days data-backed stories are much more relevant than only writing the opinion or the feature pieces.
Hmm. Wow. So from formal sports analyst companies, and you took the name of Kadamba Tech and others, etc. So these are actually specialized companies which do just sports analysis for either teams or for other customers. So it means they have like a proper company, private limited or whatever. They'll have 50,
Yeah.
100 people or whatever maybe, and
Yeah.
their job.
Mumbai has 150 people today.
Wow, amazing. So this is an entirely new world for kids and parents to learn about that. There's actually formal
And
careers, right?
one more sector, Muli sir, is basically the GCCs of bigger sports analytics companies which are having presence in India. Huddle is one. Stats Performs has 2,000 employees in
In
Chennai.
India.
Yes, in Chennai. They're the
Wow.
GCCs of the world. They're the companies, and they have their, GCC offices, global capability centers in India.
So what you're also telling us is that like while Indian sports is growing, but the global sports, which is a really multi-billion dollar industry, that has this entire infrastructure of companies, analysts, and all that, and those are mega companies, and
Yeah.
they also are outsourcing work to India. Maybe they could be taking the work of an Indian sports analytics company in this example, or they have their own GCC, and that is huge
Mm.
work. Yeah, I can imagine that if you look at, say, European football, etc., each of the players gets bought over for multi-million dollar deals, right? And nobody is going to spend like 10 million, 15 million, or 50 million just on the basis of an opinion or a few matches they've saw. I think a corporate decision would happen only with solid data analysis and stuff like that, right? So I'm sure it's all backed with that. Fantastic, Srishti. This has given us a very good insight. I think our parents and students would really maybe be able to appreciate a very different facet of this, right? Now, in our example, Srishti, we talked a lot about cricket related examples of cricket. Now, is this kind of a sports allied careers going to other sports also? Like when you say an analyst or when you say maybe a physiotherapist or something else, would they be required? And is there a demand for other? For example, some of the kids may say, I don't like cricket. I'm not playing cricket. I'm playing football or something like that. So what is the future for them? And two additional question there is that is it that I play a sport and hence I do sports analysis in same sport, or can I or a sports analyst or sports physiotherapy anything? I am going in the same sport, or I can go into another sport also.
So, see, this is definitely becoming coming into other sports as well. Cricket
Okay.
is big, and we see only cricket in India. But other sports also have analytics, and they use analysis to the extent possible. And yeah, the numbers are fewer there because the sport itself is still growing. PKL has a lot of analytics going on. Even scorecard and scouting and all those places also analytics is used. Analyst services are used. So it is growing. We have Squash and Racket Federation hiring from us. We have people who are working in PKL. We have people who are basketball and even shooting. federation has a couple of analysts from us. So we have
Mm.
seen, a lot of sports are coming up, but yes, it is still at a primitive stage because your lot of work goes into getting that data. And
Okay.
then, in cricket, the data is easily available today. Like since IPL, the India has been, collecting data on a regular basis, but other sports are still. So again, that is also an opportunity for people who are starting at an initial level because you will be the
Got it.
pioneers and you are sitting on a gold mine. Even if you
Got it.
collect data, some big company will come at a later stage if the sport becomes a big league and they will buy your
Got it.
data.
Got it. Got it.
So yes, so that is one, and second is yes, multi-sports approach is the best approach. That's what we teach our students as well. Even if you
Mm.
love cricket, yes, cricket is big, but so is the competition. But today, if
Mm.
you know your if Squash and Racket Federation comes, and out of 400 analysts, we get only four hands raised. So
Mm.
competition is much less, and the salaries are also very competitive
Mm.
there. And
But if I'm playing one sport, can I actually be an analyst or a physiotherapist or a maybe nutritionist for another sport, or the domain expertise is very important?
see, domain expertise is important at a later stage in the career when you have become a big name. But at
Okay.
initial stage, you have to learn the trick of the trade and you have
Mm.
to enhance your domain expertise. Even
Okay.
if
Okay.
you play the game, yes, your technical knowledge will be better than others, but it doesn't guarantee you will be the best analyst or a best
Okay.
physiotherapist. You
Okay.
can
Okay.
learn it on the ground because the fundamentals of every sport, every analytics, even every physiotherapy norms are the same. You have to learn it.
Okay, okay, fantastic. You talk in the beginning of the program, you sort of in a flurry said many names. Can you just take a little slower pace and tell us that apart from sports analysis, are there other what are the other sports related careers kind of a thing? So is that your son coming into the live and he wants to play? Oh wow. Okay, that's the youngster who wants to get into fantastic. So yeah, so what are the other? Can you just take a little slow it down and tell us that okay, because sports analysis for maybe who kids who like numbers, right? What are the other kind of possibilities possible?
Sure. So if you are very good at writing and
Mm,
presenting, and
mm,
you really, you want to work, in the writing field, in the opinion pieces field and all, then sport journalism can be a career option. Sports
mm,
commentary for people who are big go-getters and,
mm.
they just don't leave any place to hold the mic. And you're very good at, quick wit sort of thing. You can come up with the ideas and you can come up with the stories and you are a very good storyteller. Then sports commentary can be an option. Podcasting for the new generation, it is becoming very, very big in sports today. We have very few podcasters, but the stories have to be out and those stories get millions of like because even if we don't know the sports person. So sports podcaster is also very important. Production side is very big. Production needs technical details. You can be part of sports broadcasting and production team. Timings are weird, but at the same time, you know what is happening at least 10 seconds before the whole world knows. So yes, so that also is becoming big in India now. Even grassroots sports are getting broadcasted. Like even
Mm,
if you have a league in your community, it gets broadcasting, and people want to look at it and want to see it because
mm,
it is their son or their daughter or they said themselves coming on TV. So that is
mm.
also very big in India. Sports science side was always big and still becoming. Now, one of the couple of other aspects which has come is mental coach, your wellness coaches, and all. Strength and conditioning is anyways, one
There.
of the. It's part of sports science. Also, nutritionists, psychologists, physiotherapists are all part of the sports science cohort, and every sports need it.
Mm,
So yes, so that is also one of the aspect, but that is if you are interested towards that side of sports. If you
got
think
it.
that yes, and one thing which I would say to every youngster who is going to watch this is that if you so sports is huge like any other industry, but you have to figure out what is passion, what is your passion, and
Mm,
and you have to explore many fields before you trickle down on one or two fields.
mm.
So, yes, that
Got
is
it.
yeah. So these are the career options. Otherwise, the sports management side is huge. Like that's one of the biggest TAM in India because I mean it's if you see the sports industry, events are the biggest pie in sports. IPL is the
Correct.
biggest pie, and other PKL and others also take that share. So,
Mm.
so sports management side, operations side, logistics, F&B, and all of that can also be, and there you can take a sports management route.
Got
Athlete
it.
management is also part of it. Sports sponsorships and marketing are also very, very big, and the salaries are very, very competitive than any other industry there.
Wow. So from sports science to sports broadcasting and media to sports management to sports physiotherapy and nutrition and wellness and coaching. I think there's a wide gamut of roles that I can understand that you're telling me. One of my friends from my IM, he actually was a vice president marketing for the Rajasthan Royals team very early. I just remembered this now. And then I used to be, and he's like a normal MBA from this thing. He worked in some, MBA marketing jobs. But then he was interested in cricket, and something happened, and the IPL, Rajasthan IPL team that time, Rajasthan Royals, they gave him a job, and he was the head of marketing there. And then he says like a proper company. There's a CEO, I'm the marketing guy, and there is other people, and we are running the business side of it. And he says my KRA or KPI is to get the tickets the sold and the seats filled in the stadium, and also to generate additional revenue through various other mechanisms, right? So, and we are figuring out how to do that. It's like a typical who's a TG, who's the audience, and what advertising will we do, how will we sell the ticket, all that kind of thing, standard job. And because he loved cricket, loved sport, that it's a added advantage that he's enjoying his job much more, kind of a thing. So fantastic. So now let's come to one other aspect is that, so for a students in 10th and 12th, how do you get into this thing? Okay. And I want you to first talk a little bit about, before we want to get to colon, we'll get to colon especially also again. But I'm saying that before that, so are these like, this is a formal path to get into some of these careers, or are these like informal paths? Are there like graduation, are there some degrees that you need to do, or is there a path, or you just do any degree and then it is like more like a skill you develop? So because at 10, 12, then other also students are confused that should I just go and do my engineering, medicine, or BCom or whatever? Or for some of these paths, is there also a specialized career path, career course, like even a diploma course or a degree course, other things like that? Do you need formal education to some extent, or formal training, or bits of training can help?
So the answer is both.
Okay.
See, it depends on the student. If the student is has figured it out and is
Hmm.
very sure that he
Hmm.
loves sports and he wants to make a career in sports, then the formal career path is actually more preferable. You do an
Okay.
BBA in sports management, or you
Okay.
do sports science BBAs, or
Okay.
you do a bachelor's in sports science, or you do degrees like physical educations,
Okay.
BPED, MPED sort of degrees. So
Okay.
that is one way to look at it.
Okay.
So that is also there, and that is also one of the ways to get into sports.
Got
The
it.
second way is that you love sports, but you haven't figured it out that you know which part of sports you want, and you are still at the exploratory stage.
Got it.
Then the best strategy would be, according to us, is that you do your normal BBAs
Hmm.
or engineering or whatever field you are second best interested in, and
Hmm.
then do a lot of programs which are available today, short term programs. Get from those programs, try to get internships in sports companies,
Hmm.
and
Hmm. Hmm.
understand the whole, the understand how the culture is, understand how the things happen at sports, and then take a informed decision.
Got it. Got it. So you're saying both the options are available, a formal degree and if you're actually pursuing some degrees. But even in the second route, you're saying that there are specific courses available. So you should be very clear at what you want to do. Otherwise, you will be an untrained professional, and many of these big opportunities like the ESPN you talked about or the GCC, they will all maybe want people with some knowledge because there's anyway some competition in any of this, right? So yeah, you can informally start off. What I'm understanding maybe is that informally start off somewhere and grow. But if you really want some of the best jobs available and get a good salary and all that, then some of these certifications or formal degrees will help. Is that correct to say?
Yes, because see, the toughest part in sports, sir, is that to get into sports companies. It's
Hmm.
actually very, very tough. If you have made it, then your life is settled because sports take care of you in most of the cases. They prefer your loyalty, whether the team is winning or losing. They understand that it is not one man effort, and it can
Hmm.
the outcome can be anything. So
Hmm.
sports, if you also see historically, a lot of teams have just won once or not even won IPL titles, but their business side is still intact.
Correct.
Uh, right? I mean, we can see the example of RCB. RCB won after so many years, but if you see the whole leadership team was still intact.
Correct.
So getting into sports is much tougher. And you, as any industry, if you have a mentor and if you have a guided path and if you have a good alum network, it always helps you. Your journey becomes little lesser. So
Got it.
yes, it helps. And in these short-term programs, you can do a lot of programs. That is the
Okay.
advantage. You can
Got
do
it.
like 3 months programs, 4 months, 6 month, 9 month programs, and then figure it out by the end of your 3 years or 4 years of graduation. You have figured out what is it that you like the most in the sports.
Perfect. Perfect. Fantastic. So that brings me then to the question about Colon. Let us understand a little bit more about what you guys do and how you engage with students at various things and what are the kind of programs and what's the value. Maybe can you just talk a little bit about that? Because I know a little bit about your work and I find it fascinating what you're doing today. So can you speak a little bit about it?
So, sir, we are a sports education platform.
Okay.
We help people get into sports careers as sports analysts, sports commentators, sports journalists, sports scientists, sports social media managers, sports event managers, cricket umpires, athlete managers, sponsorships and partnerships managers, and cricket coaches, so on and so forth.
Okay.
How do we do it? We train students through our short term to intermediate term programs and we place them.
Okay.
We run mentorship groups and we run one of the some of the biggest alumni networks of these students. In terms of analytics, we have 400 plus students today. Umpiring, we have another 400 plus students. So these are people who have done the programs and they are right now somewhere in their journey and they also help others to get into it.
Wow.
So
Nice.
this is what we do, and we are into live classes, live online classes. So it makes the model scalable at the same time, any affordable also from the student side and accessible. We have today people coming from 21 different countries, and we can proudly say that cricket, Ireland analyst is our student, Nigerian cricket board analyst is our student, Bangladesh cricket board, one of the liaison officers is our student. So that has been possible because yes, obviously the model was online and but what we have made sure is these are live online classes and all the trainers are one of the biggest names and one of the best trainers or teachers and mentors in the industry possible.
Nice.
uh,
Right.
hmm,
So what I've understood is that you are a one-stop shop in terms of anybody wanting to figure out and also get into a sports career. Okay,
hmm,
and you have training programs on a plethora of dimensions and different aspects,
hmm,
and you do also short-term and long-term programs. But
hmm,
apart from doing training programs, because of a huge knowledge and connect in the industry, you have a lot of mentors, mentor groups, and all that. That is past alumni or people already experts in those things, and because of that the whole mentoring to get into the career is also possible through you, and because you're already placing people you have the connect with the teams and the businesses and that all. So this is like an awesome package for any student, honestly, right? Because this is a new field and for somebody to get so much of information as well as connects is awesome. So tell me something, what is the duration of the short term courses? How short are they and how long are they? A little bit of the structure if you can tell me.
hmm. Sir, we have like in terms, so we bifurcate the program in two pieces every program. One is the live learning classes. The second one is the mentorship. Now,
Hmm.
live learning classes can range from 3 to 9 months. We
Okay.
do 2 sessions per week in most of the cases, sometimes 3 sessions, and these are
Okay.
off working hours or off college hours from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. mostly.
Okay.
And then once you complete these live classes, so in some programs we have like 20 live classes, some programs we have 90 live classes, 60 live classes as well, depending on how complicated the program is.
Got it.
Uh, So you do those classes. You have to attend those classes live online. We give the schedule well in advance. If you miss the sessions, you always have access to the recordings, and you also get into the capstone projects. You do all the class assignments and everything. Once you do that, then we have a small little graduation ceremony, and you graduate and become part of the mentorship. In the mentorship, you do industry projects, and
Mm,
you also start appearing for interviews. We help you how to make, your resumes, what to talk, what not to talk. A lot of things happens during the mentorship process.
mm,
And there is also alumni network. You can check with them. You can, or we do networking sessions outside of alumni also. So all of that you can do it. So we also, these are short term programs. We very recently also started India's fully industry integrated PGP program, post graduation program in sports management. It is one of its kind, sir. Here, what we saw as a startup, the problem with the sports management colleges, and not naming anybody, this is the format in college network today. Everybody follows that we have 90% theory, 10% practical.
mm,
And what happens is, after this is a very skill based industry. After 3 years or spending 2 years as a master's program, you are not getting jobs.
mm,
Because you just sat in the class and learned how IPL works, but you have never gone in
mm,
the in. So we flipped that model, and we started India's first fully industry integrated program, where students does, it's a blend of learning plus on the job training. From day one, student has a job also. So he works
mm,
for 5 days in a week. He attends classes for 2 days in a week. and
mm,
uh, and we designed the curriculum in the sense that he will be doing 2.5 month of event management, 2.5 month of arena management, which are the biggest pies in sports management, then IP creations, then infrastructure development and all of that. And we partner with the companies, where the company is giving them upfront offers,
got it, got it.
provided they have to finish off their internship in this one. And the price of the program, I mean, this is a residential program right now in Bangalore. If the pilot becomes successful, we'll go all over India.
Got
And here also, the pricing of the course also, we have priced it at half of what any other colleges are pricing it, and the
got it.
job is also confirmed. So there, these extensive programs also we have started doing it, because if India has to, host 2036 Olympic, then we need around 1 crore people to be working in sports, and we need thoroughly professional corporatized students as well to be part of the sports ecosystem.
So if students want to be part of that 1 crore sports career workforce, then they should speak to you and your company and maybe start the journey with a short-term course, or maybe take advantage of this very structured postgraduate program that you created. But awesome, yeah, this is very, very useful thing. Now I just wanted to, so the flavor that I understood from this conversation is this is very job oriented, work oriented, and all that, right? And for students also, this is a good input, at least the high school student, that there is a career. If you are really passionate, really following the sports, and it just doesn't end by you are just playing at school level and just stopping, or maybe being a casual player in the university, but you can always convert this into a full career. But from your company's perspective, Shrishti, this, so if I'm a student in 10th, 11th, 12th right now, I'm not really looking for a job immediately, correct? I may be looking for a job after, say, my graduation. So right now, what can they do with your company? Is it like an introductory course, or can they attend some weekend program so that they get an idea about this, they get a exposure to this, and then maybe take it forward when they're in graduation?
We do a program with Lodestar with your
Yes.
company as well, which is a sports exploration boot camp.
Yes.
So here, it is focused towards your 8th standard to 12th standard students, who, if we just do a little survey in the class itself, and we ask them that, do you love sports? Every hand, at least 90% of the hands would be raised in the class. If you ask them what you love in sports or who you love in sports, everybody will say Virat Kohli, or Mahendra Singh Dhoni, or PV Sindhu, or Sania Mirza. But beyond that, the student has no awareness that are there any career options. So what we do is we run these small little workshops of 2 hours per weekend for at least 6 weekends, and we expose the students to these aspects, like how an analyst thought about it, with lot of exercises, with very fun loving activities and all. And then an existing analyst will come and teach them, who may be working in Maharashtra Premier League or somewhere else, and they will ask a lot of questions. He'll also tell the how is the career pathways, like what money can be made in sports, and where do you start and how do you approach any teams, and what exactly your work going to be. So this is the format of the workshop. And those workshops, what we have seen with your cohort as well, 90% of the students after the workshop says that they had a very very interesting sessions, and now they are exploring, they are also going to think about these career options whenever the right time is available. And it also exposes them, like say tomorrow if you get an opportunity to work with any IPL team, to do an internship, you know what you are asking.
Correct, correct. No, it's the fantastic exposure for students because this area is so new that it's a great move, for students to maybe just try out this some boot camp. And once they try out the boot camp, they get an idea. Because obviously, as you correctly said, the passion is there. Many students follow sports, see sports, even if they don't play. Many of them are following sports very, very passionately, right? That kind of a thing. So yeah, we've been having a fantastic conversation. I'd like you to maybe share one or two interesting anecdotes if you can think of with any sports player, celebrity that you've met, or like you had a fangirl moment and you met some famous sportsman because of the work that you're doing. Because sports is in a way also glamorous, right? In a way also it's about stars and it's about great people like that. So anything that Srishti that you can share with us?
One thing which I'll share is, I mean, we have almost 3,000 plus alum network today. And
Hmm.
if, sometimes I meet them in airport, sometimes, and it's not like as a startup founder, I'll always wear my hoodie, which has colon written in a big way. So they'll come and say that I just saw you in the airport. Are you in this airport? Once I was in a pitch competition, and they were in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad, and there were almost 300, 400 people. And then, so many of them stood up and said that we took courses from you, though we have never met in person. So
Yes.
that feels really, really good. And once I was at, one of the companies, I was just meeting the founder, and one person guy came and said that, "Are you Srishti Jain?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, I am, this person, and I actually did this program 3 years back." So
Hmm.
this is something, as a founder, you love it because I mean, as an online course, we don't meet those people personally. We don't see them very often. We forget as batches pass by. That's something which I really loved. And very recently, met one of the PKL team founders, franchise founders, you Mumba Suhail Chandok. So I was telling him that a lot of my students do work for you and all. So that actually helps. I mean, it helps in terms of building the credibility, at the same time also, striking that first conversation. So,
Fantastic.
so yeah, this is good. And sports has different kind of loyalty. I've worked in a lot of industries beforehand, also in investment banking and finance and all. But this kind of loyalty, this kind of passion, I have not seen in any other industry.
Yeah, it really is very emotional thing. Sport is more emotional than while there's a big business side to it also. Amazing. Yeah, I think meeting people who really recognize you, recognize your work also gives you a validation as a entrepreneur and that you've touched people's lives in some way. That's a great feeling. But so do you also regularly meet great sports people? Do you have a connect and do you can you share us any anecdote of meeting any famous sports star and that kind of stuff?
I don't meet regularly anybody. We are into the in the the allied sports side, but people who have made it really big in the support staff, we meet them regularly. I mean, I'm currently meeting somebody who is actually the coach for women's team, and he's coming to
Wow.
Bangalore. And
Wow.
he will be staying at the Center of Excellence, the BCCI Center of Excellence. So that's one. Gaurav Sundaraman has been a very good friend. He was our first trainer, and today, he has worked for Sunrisers Hyderabad as a team performance analyst. So he's
Wow.
always in touch. I mean, these people doesn't look like they're celebrities, but they are actually,
They are
because they
celebrities.
are the
They're big in their field. Actually, they're
in the field,
icons.
and they are the force behind the performance of the teams. So yes, these kind of people I've met. I've in airport and all. I've met a lot of celebrities. Sania Nehwal. Very recently in Bangalore Tech Summit, I got a chance to just say hi to Sania Mirza. So yes, these kind of people I've met. But yeah, personal level, pe, we are still very small.
Yes.
We haven't met any celebrity like where we can go and handshake and sit with them. Yeah, yeah, I've seen in RCB Summit, which happens in Padukon Dravid every year. So there I've seen Neeraj Chopra in like 5 meter distance or 1 meter
Wow.
distance. And I've
Wow.
seen Rahul Dravid there so many times, and Virat Kohli also, and their aura is different. I mean, you learn so much just watching them. Uh, you know,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Mm.
yes.
I'm sure you'll in your journey you'll meet many of these greats, and they'll also recognize the kind of grassroots work you're doing. So fantastic, Shrishti. I think very nice talking to you. I'm sure we discussed the gamut of topics, right from how to start, what is sports as a business, and what is sports careers, and the diversity of careers, and how students can look at this, etc. For me, the key takeaways are that this is a very real opportunity. This is not something which is nebulous. This is already there in India, because India, many sports have taken off. You talked about the Pro Kabaddi League, and so many other sports have taken off. Some have taken off at a higher scale, some at a lower scale, but still they have taken off. In addition to that, because of the global way businesses run, your GCCs and other sports companies like ESPN you talked about, that's another set of opportunity. So opportunity is real and here. That is one, I think, one takeaway. Second takeaway, I think, for me is that there are many careers. It's not one career. So depending on your personal passion, are you a communicator? Are you an analyst? Are you a operations kind of a person? Are you a science kind of a person? There could be different options that are possible for you. And for all this also, there is a structured path to get there. It's not very unstructured. It's not that you just go land up in the field and show your talent. There is a training. There is a systematic thing you need to learn, because the industry also expects specific knowledge and specific training. Not that you can just land up there. Maybe one or two jobs can happen like that. But today, because the industry is maturing, they will look for, do you know this job? Do you know this thing? And hence the training and that courses are very relevant. And that's where, for young students 9 to 12, this is a viable thing that they should consider. And maybe they should start up some exposure, some internship into this, so that, they can, in the degree, definitely then pursue it. In the degree, as you said, there is two possibilities. One is a formal path, and also the certifications path. And even certification paths is there are strong programs that you and others are running. So this is a fantastic thing. So fantastic, yeah. So nice talking to you. Thanks for sparing this time for us. And I'm sure for parents and students is a big takeaway. Any last message you want to give, or you want to tell students where they can contact you, etc.? You want to say something?
Sure. So I would just say one thing is sports is your passion, and you really love playing sports, or you really love watching sports or talking about sports. Give it a thought. Sports industry is growing. Sports need people like you. The only thing that sports need is the passion and the loyalty and the hard work behind it. So do give it a try, and you can always reach out to www.collearnsports, COLLEARN sports.com, and reach out to us or find me on LinkedIn or Instagram, and you can always message us, and we'll definitely help you out, even consult you in terms of what is the right pathway. Thank you for having me, and yeah, all the best to everybody. May all your dreams come true.
Thank you, Srishti. So, friends, if you want to be part of India's Olympic and other sports dreams that the Prime Minister is also dreaming, then this is a journey which you should take. So, with that thought, I would like to end the Insta Live today. This is a part of the Career Compass series, friends, and we do this every Sunday. We talk to a different personality. Last week we talked to a lawyer. The previous week we talked to an AI specialist. So please watch out our handle and be a part of this. Thank you, Srishti. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.